Welcome to the Positively You podcast. I'm your host, Jessie Larson, and I'm passionate about helping you shift the way you think so you can create a life you're absolutely obsessed with. Each week, I'll be bringing you a guest or a thought that's going to help you feel more optimistic and equipped to take real action. Get ready to push past limiting beliefs, ditch that negativity, and start showing up as the best and most positive version of you. Girl, let's do this. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Positively You podcast. I'm Jessie, and I'm so happy that you pushed play and that you are bringing me along today for whatever it is that you are doing. For me, when I'm listening to a podcast, I've usually got a pile of laundry next to me that I'm folding to help pass the time a little bit and hang out with someone fun or someone inspirational. I could be doing dishes or meal prep or after dinner cleanup. Can you tell that I maybe need a little bit of company when I'm doing like the household things and the chores to keep my house running? I just like to make it a little bit more fun. Or maybe you're outside on a beautiful morning or afternoon walk and getting in those steps and that fresh air. So whatever it is that you're doing while I'm hanging out with you, I'm so incredibly pumped to be hanging out with you. So thanks. All right, so the title of today's episode is about failure and, more importantly, my own failure. I'm going to get a little bit real and raw and vulnerable with you about a recent quote-unquote failure. And I put that in air quotes because I like to shift things around a little bit, and I don't necessarily believe in my heart that failure is the end-all be-all. I think that it's not just a mess up or something you didn't accomplish or did wrong or bad, but that failure really is, and this sounds so cliche, but failure really is an opportunity to gather feedback or data or have light bulb moments, to be able to take information in and use that information to move forward. So there's just a simple reframe right there. If that's the only thing you get out of this, is that failure is actually all of the things I just said. It's feedback, it's data. Like, oh my gosh, if you can take the emotion out of failing and have it strictly be information, that's going to transform the amount of awful negative feelings and shame spiral cycles that you're going to have about yourself, right? Because when you fail, like, that's never fun. It's never fun to set out to do something and then not do it the way that you anticipated and be like, oh my gosh, I suck, right? Like, that's not a fun energy to be in. And so if you can just make that simple shift, even if you don't believe it all the way, right? Because you can still be like, it is information, but I still feel really bad. That's okay. It's a start. And that's what we like here. We like starts, which leads me in, perfect segue, which leads me into, let's tell you about the failure. So a couple weeks ago, the beginning of May, so a little over a month ago, I was feeling real kind of blah. I just wasn't feeling like I was my like best self, right? Like the highest version of me, the happiest, the healthiest. I was just feeling real off. And rather than do what I would normally do and just commit to something little, I decided I got caught up in comparisonitis. We'll be completely real, where I was seeing a bunch of different people that were completing different challenges, whether it be like a 30-day program, like a summer I don't even know, or like a 75 hard, or whatever, right? I saw people doing these challenges and feeling good about their results and thinking like, that's what I need. That's the magic ticket. Joke's on me. There's never a magic ticket, and we know this, right? Like, there's not like this magic pill that's going to fix it all, and suddenly I'm going to feel my best. But alas, I fell into the trap. It's okay. We all do. So I decided that's it. That's the magic thing that I need. I need a complete reset, complete overhaul. I just need to like rein it all in, go big, go home, which is hilarious because I'm not all about that. If you've listened to the podcast before, I'm always like, start small, start small, start small. And then I'm like, actually, I'm going to go big and I'm going to create this challenge for myself and issue it to you guys too that you can join me. And I lasted like a week. I don't even think I lasted a week. It was a disaster. I did not follow through with this, which is okay. We've learned a lot. I've had a lot of time to sit here and think about it. So I issued myself this whole thing where it was like, you're going to do this today and this and this and this, and have this whole checklist of like all these things that I was going to do. And I set a timeline and a deadline for it to happen, which I do still believe that deadlines can be motivational. It does depend on your personality type. And I've learned for me that a deadline is good in certain scenarios. And I now know based on this that it's not this scenario. So again, feedback, things that you can learn about yourself, things that you can shift and change. Like I actually am coming away from this failure, right, in air quotes, with a lot of information that I can use to move forward and to when I make new goals, I've got this information now of how I best work or what maybe doesn't work as well for me, right? So the mistake I made, obviously, is that I wanted to go big. I wanted to do a complete 180, a big, huge overhaul, a big, huge change. And that's where I went wrong. And I know this, and I talk about it on the podcast all the time. So I guess it's kind of nice that I have like this proof now a little bit that like when I say start small and implement the little changes first, and it seems stupid, right? Like you're like, no, I need more, I need more, I need more. You really don't. It really is in the small little things that you will find success. So instead of the big thing, have the big goal and the big vision, right? I was feeling awful. I wasn't feeling like myself, and I wanted to feel happier and healthier and more content and confident in like my body and in the things that I was doing just in my daily life. So from there, I can ask myself, okay, self, that's the dream, that's the goal, that's the vision. So what's the one thing that I can do today or within the next 24 hours that's going to support that goal, right? It's not what are all the things to do. What's this whole checklist of things I can check off? It's what's one thing I can do. And the one thing is so important because it gives you a quick win. Like I can accomplish that maybe within the next 10 minutes. I might be able to accomplish it within the next 24 hours. And then I can say, I did that. Go me. And I feel good. And I get that hit of dopamine, right? Where I'm like, yes, yes. And then I have momentum to do it again tomorrow or to do something different tomorrow. What's the one thing I can do the next day that's going to move me closer or help me embody that feeling and that version that I'm chasing, right? So I'm relating it to this like health and wellness kind of goal that I had, but take this for anything. Right now we're in summer and we might be feeling the pressure of making summer awesome for our kids and for our family, right? And that can feel really overwhelming and feel like a lot. And, you know, you get to the end, you get to August or September and look back and think, oh my gosh, did we do enough? Yes, you did. Number one. But instead of thinking of summer as the whole and trying to make this whole awesome experience, I can say to myself, what's one thing I could do in the next hour, the next 24 hours that's going to help me feel that feeling that I'm wanting for my summer? And for me, it could be going downstairs, opening my freezer, grabbing a couple popsicles, and asking one of my kids if they want to go out on the back porch with me and eat a popsicle while we read a chapter of their book together. Now, they're not going to go home or go to school after summer's over and when they're sharing things they did during their summer break and be like, oh, me and my mom ate popsicles and read books and it was the most magical summer ever, right? Like it's not going to be this life-changing thing. But it was an action I could take within 24 hours that really did help me to be intentional, connected, like having experiences with my kids, right? So it's in these small moments, these small messy action moments that the magic actually happens. And that's what I lost sight of a little bit. I lost sight of the quote unquote boring. and the simple things that I could be doing. And I wanted to go big. I wanted it to be flashy. So if I get lost in that and caught up in that, like I think it's a human experience, right? That we just we get distracted by the shiny thing, right? Or the sexy thing or the new thing that's going to fix it all. But it brings me right back to why I teach about the small things, the little steps, the breaking it down where you're like, no, there's no way that's going to make a difference because it's so simple and stupid and easy and I don't want to do it. It's always funny that we don't want to do the simple things. So that's really what I learned. I learned that for me, the big things are hard and they feel overwhelming, and failure is so much more likely to happen when you push the outcome so much farther out instead of focusing on what's immediately in front of you. So I'm going to ask you today, whatever it is that you are feeling like you have a vision or a goal or want to start leaning into more. So whether it is your health and wellness, is it that you want to change some eating habits, that you want to exercise more? Is it that you want to feel connected to friends, that you want to enhance friendships or even create friendships? Is it that you want to focus on your marriage more? Do you want to focus on your home and what that looks like and how that feels? Does it feel like a complete mess and you're like, there's no way I'm ever going to accomplish this house? What am I going to do? You're going to stop and you're going to go make your bed, right? Because that's the one step that you can do that's actually going to make a difference. And you're going to be looking at your house where it looks like a tornado went through and you're like, there's no way that making my bed is going to actually make a difference. That's too small. It's too stupid. I need to hire a whole cleaning crew to come in here and clean the thing from top to bottom, or we just need to burn the whole thing down. Right? That's where the overwhelm and the stress comes in. And then we're and I failed because I can't get my stupid house clean. But if you were I just make my bed every day, you're going to feel freaking accomplished. You're going to get that bed made. You're going to look at that and be like, dang, yes, feels good. I can do that. Right? And you're going to take messy action on something else. If you're feeling like your marriage is just, you're not connecting and you're feeling broken, you're I don't even know the last time we messed around together, right? Or whatever. What's the one thing you could do, right? It's not that you need to plan an extravagant couples getaway to a tropical vacation and rehab your marriage. It could be as simple as sending a text and saying hey, I hope your day goes well today, right? Thinking about you. Just something simple. We discount the simple things so much. If it's that you want to have better friendships, that you're I'm really lonely and I don't know what to do. Say hi to somebody, compliment somebody, offer to help, hold open a door. Is that going to turn into a huge friendship? No, but you're going to start these little touches of connection, right? So I challenge you today, whatever it is that you have on your heart, right, that you want to change, that you have a goal and a vision for, or whatever. What's the one thing that you can do within the next 24 hours to take action on that, to move forward, to help embody in that feeling that you want to feel? And I would love to know, I'm actually dying. I'm literally dying to know what that thing is for you and what you're working on, because I love cheering for you. I love hearing the things that you're working on. I love the DMs that come in that are your wins, that I listened to this episode and I did this. And it's not even that I want to thank you. It's not that at all. It's that I love feeling the feeling that you're feeling, that you're proud of yourself. It's the best feeling to feel proud of yourself. And I want that for you. So quick message for today. Mainly because, here, I'll tell you, speaking of failure, this is my 4th time recording this episode. My 4th time. First time, I just didn't feel right, so I wanted to record it again. Second time, my hardware, after I got it all done and was ready to export it, completely crashed. Wouldn't save, wouldn't export, none of the things, just completely gone. Hopped back on to do it again a 3rd time last night. And there was it was dinner time and all the kids were home and just it was the worst possible time to be doing it. So I was nope, we can't do it now. So here we are. We got it done, right? Oh, failure is fun, isn't it? Failure is fun. And I've got some lessons and feedback and data that I've learned from that too, right? Number 1 is that sometimes it's out of your control and your programs will just crash. And that's okay. That is life, right? So my friend, I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day today. I hope that you find the one thing that you can do today to move you forward. And thanks for hanging out with me. Whether we got our steps in together, you're welcome. Hope you got a bunch of them. Or we got laundry done, or your kitchen is now sparkly clean. I've loved this time hanging out with you. So I will see you next week. Thank you for hanging out with me again today. I'm so glad you pressed play. If you want to take a quick second to share this episode with someone you think would love it too, that would be amazing. If you're loving the show, make sure you go and leave a review on iTunes. Reviews are like magic for podcasts, and your review will help get this show into the ears of more amazing women just like you. And come find me over on Instagram. I'm there at positively.jessie, and I cannot wait to hang out with you some more. So until next time, have an amazing week.